Did you know that most Americans are actually learning less than half the amount of money that they could be making if they were licensed insurance agents, and by doing this will end up living check to check when they retire? Think about it, yo. Most people are spending a majority of their very best years working for a company and or working for somebody else who not only places their own interests first, I mean, that's what every boss does, right? And not only that, but they can easily fire the employee, you, at any time without really needing an actual reason. Well, I mean, in all honesty, we see it every day, right? That's crazy. Oof. Yeah, I know, guys, that's not how it supposedly works here in the United States. But the truth is, nowadays, employees are becoming more and more replaceable, which is just part of the reason that everybody's trying to find their own, little side gig, like working from home. Meanwhile, they're trying to create their own passive income stream, which is why you see all these new YouTubers like crazy, man. So what exactly can you do to change your situation if you are actually depending on others to make a living? Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is how I was sold on becoming an insurance agent so that I could have that lucrative career with this big residual slash passive lifetime income stream. And of course, interesting enough, when I look back, the people that recruited me into the insurance industry were actually manipulating me with half-truths so that, well, guys, they wanted to make sure that they made a really good living off of my hard work. However, they were right about one thing. The insurance license that I now have can be used to make an unlimited income. I can work when I want, play when I want, and if I don't want to ever work again, then I can take retirement now, if I really wanted to. However, and trust me on this, it still takes years of hard work to get to where Mariana, my wife, and I are at today, and it didn't come easily. But that doesn't mean that it won't come easier for you than it did for me. I mean, dude, I didn't have what you've got. When we got into the business, there weren't companies like ours that offered like really high commissions and taught agents how to be completely independent. I mean, even the training kind of sucked. And don't get me started on how the companies would resell leads over and over and over and act like, the agents that couldn't sell the recycled leads had something wrong with them. I mean, who does that? Reselling leads, to me, honestly, guys, that's an outdated act of desperation. And yet a lot of these, no. I'm pretty sure that all the multi-level marketing insurance agencies are still doing that today. Yeah, that's whack. Which is why the legitimate IMOs don't resell their leads. They do exactly what we do. When a new agent comes on board, they start sending out mail, and when the lead cards come back, they sell them to their agents at cost. If I were to start all over, only the big difference today would be that now I can actually use the knowledge that I've acquired over the years. Here's what I would do. I would find a legitimate insurance agency that pays full commissions and has a fixed cost direct mail leads program that, where the leads are completely exclusive. Yeah, like ours. As a successful businessman, and even for my wife as a successful businesswoman, the knowledge that we've acquired has taught us that we absolutely need to run our insurance business independently. And what that means, and let me just say this, in order to be successful, I'll need to put my money where my mouth is and work my butt off. I mean, guys, isn't that what every successful business owner does? There's one component, one thing that every successful business owner does that most failed business owners don't do. Would you guys like to know exactly what that is? Okay, are you sure? All right, what the heck, I'm gonna tell you. Successful business owners figure out a way to come up with thousands of dollars to run their business. Meanwhile, they're spending their money, they're learning the business, they're spending the money reinvested into their business while they're cutting through the learning curve and getting started into the business. Successful business owners figure out a way to come up with thousands of dollars to run their business while they're cutting through the learning curve and really getting through those adjustments that we all make, when we first start a business. The beautiful thing about our industry and our insurance business is that you don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars to get started. You literally only need a few $1,000s. And unfortunately, people that think, wow, a few $1,000s, that's just a lot of money. If you really feel that way, this probably isn't a business for you. And very important, guys, you cannot be afraid to reinvest that money as it's coming in. You're making sales, you're reinvesting over and over again while you're cutting your teeth and figuring out the business, getting through that learning curve. Most insurance agents start selling, and since they're new and not really good at it, and it takes a while to learn, of course, they start looking at how their income just isn't that much, and then they start doing the math, and then they realize at the rate that I'm going right now, this just isn't gonna work. This is the big fail, and I hate to say it, it's right between here and here. Again, of course, you're not going to make a lot of money in the beginning until you've mastered your trade, right? I mean, that makes sense. But once you've mastered it, mastered the art of the sale, you'll want to gradually start to increase your weekly leads, a little by little. Meanwhile, at some point, you definitely want to find an assistant/appointment setter to work with you. And by doing this, you're going to be able to spend more time in the field selling insurance and a lot less time on the phone, which means even less time door knocking leads. Man, I love the senior market. Literally anybody with a decent, a good work ethic can eventually get themselves, work their way into a situation where they're earning hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year. You see, people that have a regular job and, maybe work for other people have a capped and limited income. I mean, that makes sense, right? They can only go so far with any company they're with. Folks like myself and also like the agents who work with us, people that work for themselves or self-employed, can work as hard as they want, as much as they need to make the kind of money that they want to make. And the crazy part is that by doing this, we're making the same kind of money that those elite top 10% of the highest income earners in the country are making. Again, without spending hundreds of $1,000s up front. The senior market is full of cross-selling potential, which is just another reason why I love this market. Guys, our people need burial insurance, and when they turn 65 years old and go on Medicare, they're gonna need a Medicare supplement or maybe a Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan. In my opinion, it's up to you. You can either step it up and work your butt off for the first few years, while you're in the insurance business, if that's what you're doing, which if you're investing into your leads and reinvesting over and over again, like what I've been talking about, this can be life-changing. Or you can keep doing what 90% of the US workforce does, which is unfortunate because most people in our country actually have this mentality that they can do the bare minimum to just get by so that in the end, they'll be okay, right? Dude, that's fake news. Guys, I meet with seniors every day. The majority of people that I meet with are barely getting by, living check to check, and I don't even know how they're surviving. Yeah, this is insane. To think that most people in the United States retire with either just enough money to survive, or in many cases, not even enough. I've got clients that are well into their 70s, even 80s. They have no choice but to work part-time, or they're gonna run out of food at the end of the month. Hold on. Is that the kind of life that you want? Pfft, no way, not me, sister. There is good news. At some point, we all need to take a deeper look at ourselves and ask the question, can I do more? Am I really heading in the direction that I want to be heading in? I don't know. Am I? Are you? Guys, if you'd like a copy of the free new agent zip file, which has some of the best sales materials in the industry, go to our website, UnitedFinalExpenseServices.com. For more information on becoming a completely independent insurance agent and working with us and getting trained by us and even getting access to those exclusive leads, just shoot me an email at doug@ufesonline.com. Remember, When you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now, get out there, guys, and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting.